Hey cactus buds, this is Shane with Shamanic Landscaping. Here we have a T.Bridgesii that we're going to take a cutting from. The best time to take a cutting is when the season is warm. That way the cactus is in its growing phase and it can protect itself and callus over and regrow if needed during the growing season. Here it's summer, today it's going to be 106 degrees. So it's good to use a thin knife when cutting these cacti. The reason for that is as you're cutting, you don't want it to split the skin too much. If you use a thick knife, it's going to split the skin. This is going to go right through. Alcohol is good. You don't have to, but it would disinfect the knife from any bacteria or fungal spores. It's not entirely necessary to do alcohol. You could just soap and water or just wipe it clean. These cacti are really resilient. Another thing too, you want to use a pair of wire cutters. Reason is because these spikes hurt when you touch them. So you want to make sure that you have a good holding location. Maybe you don't want to get your finger, maybe you don't want to be so careful when you have to grab the top, so just trim around and get the spikes off. You can throw them into a little container. So I'm going to cut nice and smooth. It's better if you could do it in one slash, but I don't have the space for that. So there we go. We've got our cutting here. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to place this off to the side. And what we're left with here is this. It's going to eventually get all sucked up and sink as it dries. And that'll collect water. We don't want that. So we're going to put some additional cuts here and here. That will reduce the chances of it retaining water after rain or sprinklers. Here's an example of a cactus cutting that was done to prevent that water sitting. You're still going to have this that'll collect water, but it's at a significant angle to reduce extra rot, and so far this one seems to be doing fine. So what we have now is a 25-inch tall T.Bridgesii tip cutting at about 2.5 inches diameter. So that means that we're going to leave it in a shady space like a garage for 2.5 weeks, preferably in a vertical position so any new growth will be growing upward. So in case you're wondering what this little sad face is on there, these were caused by little bugs were eating at the tip of the cactus, and it just grew past it. It just kept on growing right out the center, and it left these scars. Sometimes they look pretty cool, sometimes they look ugly. These are nifty. All this has been its growth since springtime. It's been about 6 months. So that kind of gives you an idea of how fast these guys can grow. So now that we've got this cutting done, we're gonna let it heal for a little while and then put it in the ground. Off to the next project. Thank you.